Okay, so last but not least, I know that this has been an intense module, but I think that now there is the most interesting part. We will spend the remaining time in, let's say, using an interesting tool for business process management. Um, in order to, I mean, make you understand how it is possible to model and to manage process also from using ICT tools and using the technological support. Um, why? Because then, of course, as I have anticipated before, you will be asked to solve a specific assignment which is based on what we have seen in the first module. Of course, we have seen, for example, the business process modeling notation at its different elements. We also did an example of how to map the request for quotation. Of course, you don't model processes with your pencil or using Paint or some other application for drawing in store in your laptop. There are specific software for business process management that exist and are effectively used in company. These are just for example. So Microsoft Office Visual is a suite embedded in Microsoft, which is helpful to model business process. Unfortunately, I'm not using this because it is not comprehensive. I mean, for example, it is not included in for the Mac platform, so that's why it's not so diffused in companies. Then we have Bizagi. Bizagi is another platform for business process modeling and business process management, as well as Eclipse. For the purpose of this course, I have selected instead Signavio. Signavio is software for collaborative business process management, design, and analysis. It's one of the most diffused tools all around the world, and I mean, it's a value adding knowing the business process modeling notation and also some tools to manage processes because companies are requesting this type of skills. So if during an interview you are describing one of these competencies related to business process analysis and mapping and management, of course companies, let's say, will like this because this is not so usual in the business environment to have this type of knowledge. So the purpose of this part is also to give you and to enhance your competencies in using a practical tool that you can then use in the real world, going beyond the theoretical concept we have seen so far. Signavio is a web-based software. So Signavio is a web-based software and is free for academic purposes. I mean, you can subscribe and have a 30 days trial if you are a company, but then you have to purchase it. For our course is free. So I will give you the access. I mean, I will send you the link, and once you will receive the link, you will arrive at this page where you will be asked to register your personal information and so on, and you will join our, let's say, collaborative space. And this is Signavio. I mean, this is a web-based platform which gives you the opportunity to model the processes directly from your web browser. Once you have registered, you will arrive here where you will have shared documents where you will put documents that you want to share with your colleagues. That's the powerful of Signavio. It's a collaborative business process management platform which is aimed to share the vision of processes with also other colleagues in other departments. you find, let's say, predefined examples of processes in Signavio. For example, we have for the core processes, the procurement process at different level of analysis. For example, we have the mapping of the receipt of goods for the procurement process. You see, this is the supplier, and this is the procurement process of a fictitious company named Acme. And as you can see, you have, I see, there are shared documents and user private documents. In the shared workspace, everyone have access and read open diagram. So that's, I mean, that's an alert to you. Or as we are all sharing the same space, all that you put in this folder is seen by everyone. So pay attention to this. If you want to put something privately, put it in my documents. So when you are here, then when you want to save, you make save a copy, and you decide to save it in a particular folder. Here you find, I mean, all the tools and all the elements that you have seen of the business process modeling notation and that we have seen so far. I mean, you have task that could be inserted in the process, and if you just realize, and you can type the name, so task 1, and you can, I mean, here you have quick commands, and you can change the name of the task or the nature of the task, and here it is. And if you are not convinced about what you have done so far, just make like this, and this disappear. You have all the elements of a business process that help you to model an existing process. You have gateways, exclusive, event-based, parallel, inclusive, or complex that we didn't see, but okay. And here it is. If you want to add, it's just a matter of putting the gateways where you see that it should be included, and so on. So here you can find all the elements: swim lane, artifacts, data object, start event, catching events, of all the typology, throwing events, and by doing this and knowing, of course, the business process modeling notation, you can build your process. In order to create, this is for an existing one. In order to create a new business process diagram, let's go to New Business Process Diagram, New Process. This is open, and then again you can insert task, you can insert flows with different type of let's say different type of flows. You can insert different gateways, and so on. So you can then start creating by a simple window menu, start creating your process using the notation we have seen so far. So it is very user friendly to be implemented, and it gives you competencies which are very relevant, because I mean, with a simple web-based tool, you are able to map the process of a company, which can be more or less complex. in the slides that you will find on the website, I have summarized the main, let's say, Signavio functionalities. So the type of events that are included in the menu, the activities, and how you can insert gateways and all the other elements in the process flows. The difference between the connected objects proposed by Signavio. So sequence flow used to show the sequence of activities in the process. Message flows, which are used to show the information flow exchange between two actors, like for example these different flows, these two different pools. For example, if you take the receipt of goods, this is a message pool, a message flow, because you see that there is an exchange of inquiry from supplier to the customer and the delivery of the parts too. So this is a type of message flow that can be used to map the interaction between the actors. Then we have also the pool. As I told you, the pool are useful to map the different actors that are present in the process, and which can then be refined in terms of lanes. Again, it is very useful. It is very easy from Signavio to introduce lanes. Here it is. You have your swim lane and you decide to introduce another lane. Here it is, and it is immediately created. So it is very, graphically friendly. The slides, you find some summary about the different options, and pay attention that when you save your process, as I already showed you before, save as. Here you see that Signavio has some best practices for business process modeling notation, and immediately, let's say, it gives you if something is not going well with your process. You see that, for example, for the changes that we have done so far in this existing process, we now have one error. So for sure we are saving a process that has one error inside. 7 warnings. These are not error, but these can be possible criticalities in the flow that I am proposing with this process. And 4 hints, so possible suggestion to the flow modification or to the flow remapping according to Signavio best practices embedded in the software. And then once you have saved your process, you can then export it. For example, if I reopen this one again and I want to export the overall process, in PDF, I can do it by saving a copy and then going to import export and click to export PDF, which will be automatically downloaded. So you can start playing with the software once I will give you the link in order to access the platform and then map your business process, but it is very easy. It is coherent with what we see from a theoretical perspective. Why you should be able to do this? Because it's time for the first assignment. You will find also a case for a company named Qualitator. Qualitator is a company who offer certification services to different type of businesses. As you will see in the text, Qualitator offer product and services like certification for main standard of quality, certification for the environment impact, occupational safety, information security, product certification field, inspection services, and training courses. There are several departments that will be described in the annexes of Qualitator case, like administration, human resource, information system, planning service department, each one with its role. And I mean, Qualitator is an Italian company. 200 people are working in this company, and in particular, the core job profile is the one of inspector, which are the people specialized in the different quality standard, and which are then the actor in making in delivering the service to the final customer. Let's say the competitive advantage of Qualitator as having developed an expertise in the standard and in the business processes of different sectors for the customer to which Qualitator carry out the inspection. And this is really considered the specialization of knowledge and the ability to have a cross-industry perspective is considered by Qualitator's customer as an added value, and the company is recognized as a premium price for this. We have a series of primary processes that you will find in the text, but our attention will be focused on the offer formulation process, which includes all the activities which are necessary to prepare a commercial offer for the customer up to its acceptance. So the customer is requesting a particular quality inspection or quality certification, and Qualitator needs to formulate an offer for this service. In particular, for this case, for this purpose, as it is a limited case, we will see the offer formulation process concerning environmental and quality system certification. In particular, this process can be, let's say, seen on two levels. The new certification, so the offer for a customer who is requiring a new certification for example, his plant or his processes or his equipment and machinery, or a customer who wants to renew its certification, so which was just let's say present in the company since some years. Here there are some numbers about the input to the process. So last year 6,000 new and renewal offer were formulated let's say 70,400 companies. By finally we can say that approximately 3,000 customers have more than one certificate, and the customer base of Qualitator is made by on average 3,000 customers that have more than one certificate. Which is the aim of this case? You are asked to support the general manager in the analysis of the new certification offer formulation process that you describe on. You will find the description of this process in the case. You are expected to map and model this process according to the business process modeling notation, and of course using Signavio. I mean, that's the purpose of making you aware of this kind of software. Then, once you have mapped this process, you are asked to identify which are the critical success factors of Qualitator, of course by motivating your choice. And let's say design and comment 4 key performance indicators that you think are essential to control and to monitor the functioning of the new certification offer formulation process. Of course, you should do it coherently with the critical success factor identified. which is the output that you need to produce. A PDF file with the business process diagram of the process, and a PowerPoint with max 6 slides. I mean 6 slides because I expect one slide describing the critical success factor of Qualitator, giving a motivation. One slide for each KPI, which are 4, and I mean the KPI record with the detailed description of the KPI, and a final slide where you interrelate the relationship between the KPI chosen and the critical success factor that you are presented before. You are expected to upload these documents on Canvas, and the deadline is September 8th, so next Friday of next week, by evening. And this will count as 2 individual assignments, so one for modeling and one for the KPI definition. Of course, the program then will go on, but if you have questions, just jump in during office hours, or just ask for a Zoom meeting or a personal meeting. And if you have problem, of course, I'm here to assist you in during this assignment. So, good work, and from the next session we will start with the second module, which will be focused on information technology supporting business process, and finally with SAP and its definition and functionality.